Yo, so dark. Damn. Hold on. Starmus, why are you even up this late? Chat. We Starmus. Yeah. You too, bro. You too. Hold on. Just trying to get the lighting so that you can see me. Oh, yeah. It's fine. We're fine. Damn. All right. Shoot. Yo. I just came here to chill, guys. Also, Star Moose, you're always here first. How have you never gotten the number one fan thing? Are you just you're just not built like that, bro? But YouTube's discriminated against you. Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah, this is WASMR. This stream is literally just to chill and like chat and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was a good idea at the time. Got like my flashlight from my phone set up so you can see my face. But yeah. But anyways, got everything set up. I don't know. I don't really know how to start. So what this is about, bro. But I don't really know where to start. I mean, this year's gone by fast, I guess. School's almost halfway over, so that's good. I don't know, man. Maybe I like streaming, but what? Star Moose. Keep track of the conversation, bro. The year's gone by fast. I think maybe I could start by talking about my plans with this channel. Obviously I like to stream and like make videos. I also like to play video games, but so I'm thinking just stream video games and then get good at it and like do like a Jacksepticeye kind of thing where I like buy games and then play them because I already have a lot on my Steam account and stuff. and then one day I'm gonna become like super famous, and then like that one dude that subscribed to me last stream, he's gonna be like my top fan, and like it's gonna be so tough. He actually like gave me advice and stuff. Well, you were there, right, Star Moose? He was like typing to me in chat and like giving me advice and stuff. It was nice. It was nice. You meet there. You can meet friends in the most unlikely of places, and I really like that about life. What are you talking about? Press or press? Yeah, that guy. But yeah, I remember whenever, like, not even a year ago, I wanted to like get into VCT and stuff. Yeah, yeah. No, it's Cress. Cress. You're close. It was Cress. But I remember when like whenever I wanted to get into VCT, and even though I have been playing, it's not because I didn't want to. I was just busy with um like work and life and stuff. But I never forgot about it. I have a plan to like improve and stuff, but video games aren't like a big part of my life right now. So, but it's always been a part of my mind, especially every time I watch that music video Ticking Away. It's it comes back to me. The dreams that I used to have when I had more time of one day making it and walking across that stage. Maybe I'll get to hold a trophy. Those are good times. Times when we used to dream about stuff. Life has its own way um of making plans, of changing lives. That that'd be pretty tough. That'd be pretty tough. Star Moose, we're discriminating against you. But yeah, that that's how life is though. A lot. But some things are worth some things are worth fighting for. Some things are worth chasing, and then that brings up the topic of love. Okay, Samus, we're discriminating against you. You can't do anything about it. Be quiet and take it like a good boy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're sorry. Um, yeah. You know, every time I stream, there's always like two two people that's watching like at all times, and like I don't know why, but like it just makes me happy. Just those two people that always like hop on. Three. There's three people here. Hmm, it's interesting. But anyways, bring brings you to the topic of love. It's love is an interesting thing, and then and yesterday in class I had the glove like my boxing wrap on because it was like I wear it for the style, but then uh in seventh period kid went up to me and said, "You don't look like a fighter." And I said, "Looks can be deceiving, but I don't like to fight." And learning how to fight teaches you how dangerous it can be. So when you do learn to fight, you don't really want to fight. And then as soon as I said that, um, the senior beside me said, um, I said I don't like to fight. He said you have to fight for your love, and that stuck with me for some reason. It because I don't know how to think about that, how to feel about that. Should you have to fight for your love? And what does that mean? I don't know. Love is interesting. Whenever you find someone to love you, you hold on to them. You hold on tight, but not in a creepy way. There's love, I think, should be unconditional, which which is why I don't know about fighting for it. Because love is not a one-way street, and sometimes that's a hard thing to um sometimes it's a hard thing to think about or deal with, but that's the truth. That's how it is in life. Um, but one day we will all find someone, and someone we love, and they'll love you back, and then everything will feel all right. And that's even if you don't have a person like that right now, it's going to happen. I promise. And that sometimes it's hard to find love, but there's always someone out there who loves you. Someone out there is thinking about you, even if you don't know it. Someone out there you haven't who you haven't seen in a while. They might be thinking about you right now. That's but I'm getting off track. Um, but yeah, that's love. I actually watched this small YouTuber talk about love. He has barely like a few hundred subscribers, but for some reason he caught my eye. Talked about a love that he had. It was sweet. He and his girlfriend were together for 4 years, and it was a happy, nice love. But one day it didn't work out, and the pain was unbearable. There's there's an ancient philosophy, I guess. It says that when people meet each other, they stay, and once they've learned everything they can, they leave. I don't like it, but one part of that is true. Everyone that you talk to, all your friends, everyone you love, you learn something from them. And I don't even know where I'm going with this, honestly. But Sorry. I don't even know where I'm going with this. But then it all comes back to life. And I was actually thinking about that recently, life and all that, and death, because I'm scared. I was scared of death. I was scared of dying, and I'm scared of rejection. And no matter how much I try to convince myself, I won't be not scared of rejection. I hate just hate getting rejected. I hate thinking about how other people think about me. But the thing about that is you'll never know. You'll never know how people think about you until you talk to them, until you try. You'll never know. And life isn't about how long you live, but how full you live it. And there's no reason that we shouldn't live our best life. So I am still scared of rejection. There's this girl I want to make friends with, but I don't. I always think that she thinks I'm weird, or that um or that she's not gonna want to be friends with me, and that like I hate not, and I hate that. But it's not rejection, it's redirection. Every no oh no, that's people are gonna take that the wrong way. I can't say that. But you'll never know unless you try. People always say, well, it's okay to be afraid of rejection. What if they don't like me? What if it doesn't work out? What if I mess it up? But it's better having tried and failed than not having tried at all. If you don't, if you don't shoot for the stars, you won't hit anything, and that applies for so many things in life. Not not just not just sports or trying to achieve your goals or anything, but that's the truth. There's a lot of things about life that we could go on and on about, but there might be bad, like getting rejected, but with bad, there has to be good. If there isn't any good, there can't. If nothing bad ever happens, then there can't be good. Without without joy and sadness are two different things, and even though they're so different, one of them seems good, one of them seems bad, but they without one, the other one wouldn't exist. Without pain, that's another thing actually. Pain. You know, they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and that's true. But and life is full of pain. I know, but something I learned is that life is like life is like a book, but more so, life is like a piece of land. Sometimes life gets bad, and then there's a hill, but when you get to the bottom, the only place you can go is up, and it always gets better. But and then sometimes there are hills, but the sad thing is nothing good lasts forever. And that hurts a lot of people to talk about, to think about. But that that's all the more reason to enjoy it. Nothing ever lasts forever. So if there are people in your life that you really care about, that you love, you should cherish them. Nothing lasts forever. Every day I wake up and I'm happy just to be alive. In in the span of 6 months, not even a year ago, two people in my life died. Last year, I had a longtime friend, Isabel. She was she was the kindest person that that you could meet, the kindest friend. And in elementary school, we used to be friends. She would chase me around the playground. We would have a lot of fun. And then in middle school, we kind of stopped talking as much. And one day, she didn't show up to school. Next next thing I know, counselor comes into my room, says that she died because she had an enlarged heart, which is such cruel irony. It still hurts to think about. How can such a kind person die so suddenly? Why do bad things happen to good people? That that's life. Then not even 6 months later, I had a sibling. My my baby sister Sia. She was so cute. And when my dad told me the news that I was gonna have a little sister, I could not have been happier. But th- then disaster struck, and I still think about it. My dad, um, and Samantha, which is the girl that had my baby sister in her belly. They had a fight. She called the police. My dad got arrested. I It hurt me inside watching, just hang out with my dad, who's a great guy. Never hurt anyone in his life except for self defense. And suddenly we're at Target walking back to our car, and then these two cops come up to us, and my dad just gets taken away, and it hurt. And then when he finally got out, it wasn't that long, but when he finally got out, um, didn't have anywhere to go. So he he lived in this a trailer, and he, but he still wanted to see us. So me and my brothers would go over there and just be with him. I think that's one of the greatest things in my life. is having a dad that loves me, that wants me, that that would die for me. It's one of the greatest things I could have. Then one day, um, I woke up and my dad was crying, and then my brother was crying, and I didn't know why. I We were all happy because my sister had just been born, and we haven't seen her yet, but she was born um around the beginning of February this year. And 17 days later, we're just sitting in I woke up in the trailer, and my dad sits beside me, and he said to me, "Sia's dead." She had a hole in her heart because Samantha did drugs when she was pregnant, and but she's not even arrested. No one, there's no proof, but it hurt. That was the worst few months that I've ever been through, and I hate it. But that's how life is. There's death, there's pain, and if someone you cared about in your life has died, you know exactly how it feels. And it could have been worse. And that's how it was. Oh, that's life. Things did get better, of course, but they're they I still think about her. It's not I did recover, but or like get mostly over it, but what it wasn't 10 months ago. It only felt so recent. But yeah. Well, again, that's life for you. But even though life is gets painful sometimes and life hurts, you have there is always something to be grateful for, something to love, something that to be happy for. I didn't know it at the time, but when Sia died, everything felt horrible. Friend died, sister died. Well, it was like I was crying so much, but I had my dad, my brothers, my friends, and they were there for me, and it meant the world to me. It meant so much. Um, that and sometimes that's all you need to get. Sometimes that's all you need. I wish I could say I had my mom, but I went home crying on Sunday, and I told my mom she is dead, and I started crying. She didn't care. She's like, stop crying. She's dead. You didn't even see her. I didn't see her. But I loved her with my heart, all my heart and more. Every day I wake up and I'm happy to be alive, and I think it's a new day. Might as well make the best of it. You can ask anyone that you can ask anyone that I know. I've never woken up and just got I've never woken up and just hated everything. That might happen throughout the day or like whenever I'm thinking and stuff, but I never woke up and thought, man, shit stinks right now. Just happy to be alive. Happy that I have a bed. Happy to have a family. Happy to have people who care about me. That's because even if life seems bad, there's always something or someone that is there that you can be thankful for. And I know that there's not many people watching right now, but maybe someone will come back. So if you're watching this, you mean something. You are amazing. And the world is better because you're in it. And no matter how hard life seems sometimes, it will get better. And I am here for all of you guys. Even if you're on the stream or see it in the future, I'm here. And there's so many other people out there too. And things are hard now, maybe, but you will get through this. You're strong. Today is your day. So make the best of it. Live your life to the fullest that you can. That that's what I've adapted to thinking, because life the life is a long hard topic, but it's also a good thing. And as I said before, life isn't life isn't about living the longest, but living the fullest in the little things. And the little things that happen, they mean something to you or other people. If whenever you're walking outside and you compliment someone, they remember that. And and that means, and like, you never know what someone's going through. So, you know, sometimes try to make someone happy. I'm not even talking about life anymore. Just like sometimes people are going through stuff. Sometimes things get hard. Be nice to people. Try to be there. You know, it might mean a lot more to someone than than it originally seems. And this is like the surface of it. This is like the surface of life and psychology or whatever and all that. My dad over the years has taught me a lot about being a man and about life, about living, about loving. And there's a lot that you can talk about life, and there's a lot that can happen. So just remember, you're important. You mean something. And the world is better because you're in it. And thank you. Um and that's a lot of it. Thank you. You should be the number one fan, Star Moose. Just saying. I'm gonna like crown you. But yeah, that a lot of the times I'm just I'm just joking around and having fun. But sometimes just talking like this, it takes a lot off, and it means a lot. And I usually have these do this with my dad, but I don't see him a lot, so this is a nice change of pace. And I hope that my voice is comforting enough that it makes more people want to stay in the future. Um, but yeah, that's like the basics of life, living, loving, and you guys will do great things for the world one day. I will too, but like you guys especially. Everyone that hears this and everyone who will hear this, everyone I can't say everyone, but mm, I'm just thinking about it. We will get onto that in a later discussion. But most of the time, I yeah, like I was saying, most of the time I'm just like I'm joking around, I'm having fun. I'm usually very energetic. I'm an extrovert, and whenever I am with my friends and people I love, I'm happy. Um, but it doesn't leave me a lot of room to think, to wonder. So this time that I get at night or when I'm alone, it really helps me, and I bet it helps other people too because um because we all need time to think and process stuff. Um, and sometimes sometimes you need that. So that's why I'm here today, and I was sad for like the past couple days. I was thinking, um, but I feel happier after this and stuff. And I also started looking at um this old no this like ancient, I can't say ancient, um the philosophies of Miyamoto Musashi. Yeah, Miyamoto Musashi. He was an ancient. He was a samurai from back in the days of Japan, and he. This is what his life was in Japan. He was born, obviously. That's how he lived. Um, in in an older town, like not um like a older poor town. And then but when he died, his mom or no, when he was born, his mom died soon after. So he lived with his dad, who was a samurai. Um and so he trained in the ways of samurai too, and with different weapons and stuff. But he was an aggressive, he was like an aggressive kid. And I know that, and I know it doesn't sound like he has good philosophies, but just wait. Um, so but like if we skip forward, he he got into a lot of fights and stuff later, and then when he was captured, a monk um offered to teach him, to train him. And what ended up happening was the monk tied him up, and then hung him from a tree, like tied him like his body, and then hung him in a tree. And he would come out every so often to teach Miyamoto, and also to taunt him. Um, and then over time, well, obviously it feed him too, but over time, Miyamoto learned lessons from him. He learned patience. He learned that strength is not just on the outside. Strength is not in muscles. And he didn't say this, but I'm saying this now. Strength is not in muscles, but it's in your mind too. Strength is not getting angry. Strength is self-control. Strength is the things that you the strength is that the things that you don't say so you don't hurt people. Strength is not sometimes when people look weak, that's it is confused for weakness, obviously, but a lot of times it's a sign of strength. If anyways, I don't want to get into that, but so Miyamoto trained, fought, and then learned a lot of philosophy and stuff uh this monk. and I've been learning his philosophies so that I can conduct myself better. He it's he the most interesting thing, I think, is that he wrote a book which is about the like five rings, and they are all based on elements, sort of: earth, water, fire, air, and like grass or green or something. But it it is about discipline. And I know that this is like very off topic from before, but it's like these are the philosophies I'm learning about discipline and like control. And he especially learned and wrote about not only discipline but mastering your emotions, staying calm, and those are very important things in life. Actually, let's stick with discipline for a little bit. This is gonna be a harder topic, but in life we have established that there will be pain and you'll get uncomfortable sometimes, and there'll be things you don't want to do. Discipline is by definition, my definition, the best one. Um Doing the things you don't want to do as if you love doing them and doing them consistently. And I'm trying to adapt that into my life more, because actually, I don't know. It's a lot to think about actually. But that's what discipline is. And whenever and the thing is, in life you will be uncomfortable a lot, and you have to live with that. You have to live with pain, the pain of life. And discipline is working hard today to have an easier life tomorrow or in the future. So, at one point or another, we all have to adapt that into our lives. We like, because no matter how much we want to, no matter how hard it gets, the sun don't stop for nobody. The the moon and the sun, the earth will keep rotating, the days will go by, and regardless of how you feel, regardless of the emotions that you have, days will keep going. So you make the best of it. Part of that is with discipline. Putting your body through the pain now, but later you'll you'll see why. I have been you do putting in the work, putting in discipline into working out. And honestly, I haven't been doing a good job, but it's not for me now, but it's for me in the future, I guess you could say. Anyways, discipline's important. We've already established that. Um, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about here. I'm not good with transitioning to different things, clearly. Um, but I like to talk about life. I don't know if people like to hear about it, but I like to talk about it. Um, but yeah. Uh, Thank you. This is a safe space. We do not. Yeah, I'm a great speaker, but that's because I'm using my brain. I normally I leave that like in this room. So whenever Okay, I need to stop being an idiot again. Look, I would like to talk. I hope I turned chat replay off so no one sees you say that. But yeah, I do need to channel this essence when I talk to her. But that brings me back to my fear of rejection. Even though I already talked about it and why you shouldn't be, for some reason it's just there. I don't know why. But it is. And we all have fears. And I usually don't have that. I know it sounds weird. I'm not trying to be like macho or anything. But I'm usually not afraid of a lot of stuff because I find ways to conquer those fears. I something I don't tell people. I am always I'm usually afraid of death and dying and stuff, as a lot of people are. But I have this mindset where if I say to myself, death only happens when I'm not here, and when I am here, death isn't happening. It's stupid, but it works. And honestly, it's it's one of the two ways I just stopped thinking about my fear of death. The other way is just to sit in bed and then listen to music while I fall asleep. Works great. But every time I have a fear, I always deal with it. But having a fear of rejection, it's something else. It does something. It does something. Makes me think. You know. I don't even know why you guys are still here. I'm just rambling at this point, but um, fear of rejection is an interesting thing because most of the time when you're afraid of something, it's mostly to do with you. And the only other exception is also the fear of getting abandoned. But those two fears are different. They're rational fears though. The difference between a rational fear and irrational fear is that with the rational fear, there's something to be scared of, like like chainsaw blade, chainsaw. An irrational fear is something like a fruit cake, because a fruit cake has never hurt anyone ever, so there's no reason to be scared of it. So now that I'm thinking about it, fear of rejection, even though it seems rational, there's nothing to be afraid of. Worst case scenario, she wants me to leave her alone, and I do. All right, I'm gonna go to her house now. I'm joking. Oh, thank you, Star Moose. I I know that I'm rambling on still, but I don't know what else to do. This is how I channel my like energy. You know, guys. Um, so thank you guys for listening. Really appreciate it. Um, but yeah, thank you. I like. So sometimes I'm not good at being sympathetic either, and I'll explain that in a second. But I've always been good at explaining things to people, whether it's math concepts or how things work. But I used to be more sympathetic towards people. And I still am, but I stopped being able to comfort people as good as I used to be able to. And the reason is kind of sad, actually. I used to have such a big heart, I guess. I mean, I still do. I still care and love people, but it's before my heart used to control me. I used to like have all these emotions and like whenever something happened with people, I would like relate, and something happened to me, I would cry. Normal human things. But after the deaths and stuff, I it affected me at that point to such a high degree that I changed, like my mind changed, I guess you could say. And now I have a different mindset, if you will. And so I don't experience pain and emotional like tragedies like other people do, which have made me harder to like be to comfort other people. Because before, if heartbreak happened, I would like, to me, I would get sad and deal with it how everyone else dealt with. But after Sia died, and I got sad and I'm over it. If heartbreak happened to me, I would like get sad and move on. So now I don't feel pain like other people do, because now I stop feeling as much. So I hold on. So when something happens to people, I feel that because I have compassion and I have what happened before, but I just don't feel as much in my head, and I just think logically. So whenever someone has a problem that they bring up to me, my logical mind thinks this is a problem that I need to solve. And as much as I wish that it could go back to how it used to be, I know that that can't happen. And honestly, that's okay. Like you need to life is something that you need to adapt to. In fact, yeah, that's how we relate, Star Moose. But in fact, Miyamoto Musashi, the first 20 fights he did, he used different weapons. He never used the same weapon again. Could be a knife, a katana, a, his bare hands, a wooden stick. The first 20 fights, he always used different weapons. And in the Five Rings, he talks about it like water. Water as an element fills the shape of the container that you put it in. It adapts, it flows. So the philosophy behind that he talked about is that you have to adapt to life, to your circumstances, the way that water does when you pour it into a different container. And I guess that's what my mind did. But my point is that at some point in life, we have to do that too. That's a problem that I was also dealing with as well, having trouble working out every day because I made sure that my schedule was so full, was so fixated, all these little points that I never stopped and tried to change it. So it made everything harder. because I was fighting the world and like the things that were happening around me. It was always wake up at 6, go work out, take a shower, this, and this. And then as a result, I would get less sleep, I would fall behind, and eventually it got hard and I stopped doing it. I got back to it because I adapted in a way. And that's a really important thing about life is that you have to adapt to your circumstances. And one and I'm not a good example, but if we look at my dad again, he was in jail for something he didn't do because I'm not gonna into this because I don't know how everyone feels about this, like politics, but in society, women are favored more than men. My my mom and I have a half brother Benjamin, his mom, they both married my dad. They both know what he's like. So when he got arrested, they both didn't believe it. They were like, well, he's such a passive dude. He would only fight back as an act of self defense. And my dad had scars on like the inside of his mouth and stuff. So we thought it was clear that he had been attacked and had to fight back because my dad's a big dude, honestly. If he had fought first, he wouldn't have any scratches on him. But there were no cameras. Everyone immediately sided with her. And when he got out, he couldn't go back to the way life was. It's still hard for him to find a job now. So he has to adapt. And that's how he started living in a trailer, but and like honestly, he's not happy, but if you can't adapt to the things that life does to you, you're not gonna make it. And I know and I'm sorry. I know it's hard to hear, and I feel bad saying it, but honestly, it's something that is important to learn. And I know that it's getting late now, but this is a late night stream, so I'm gonna keep talking. But yeah, that's a big part of life, and that's the truth of it. There's a lot of truths about life that even I don't know, but there's something important that is that when I talk about this stuff, it might sound bad or like hard or like emotionally like difficult or stuff, but it brings me back to what I said before. With bad, there is good as well. So talking about this, it's not supposed to be bad. It's not supposed to make you feel bad. It's not like I don't mean it to do that. Because just as life has its downs, it has its ups. And suicide is a hard topic. But I'm going to bring it up once. No matter how bad life seems, you shouldn't ever do it. And I know that people have heard that so many times. But there was a time when I wanted to do it. I didn't tell anyone. And oh, I'm glad I didn't because now I have friends. I have a loving family, and I mean, I'm I stopped getting upset over Sia. I mean, I still have like grief, but not as bad as before. So it's all good. I learned a lot from my life, from my dad's life. My dad says that I am more emotionally intact and aware than a lot of other people my age. I think so too, because I've been through stuff. I've seen what my dad's been through, and you guys haven't seen it, but he's been through hell and back. And it sucks, but we're not gonna get into that. So I know I've seen quite a bit, but I also know that life doesn't have to be hard. A lot of it is a mindset thing. I don't know if it's been said or told a lot, but a lot of things about life is about mindset. Some things that seem bad are actually good. I'm not gonna get into that because it kind of fucked me up for some of the stuff. But just trust me on this, okay? Um, for example, this is very light, but like thinking about some stuff that seems bad, such as like um like how this is hard to say. Um, my dad said to me sometimes that it could be worse, like so that's like what some people say, but he often gave examples like there's a man in Africa that's walking across the desert 20 miles to get water or something like that. And it, it made me realize how good my life is. But that's I don't want to get into all that. It kind of messed me up mentally, but like mindset stuff. You guys get it. Hold on. I'm there's a lot that I could talk about, but I do need to end this stream at some point. I want to I don't know if I'm going to end or start here, but I want to say that I want you guys to remember this. I want you guys to remember this. Today, or yesterday technically, but today, someone took their first breath and someone took their last. Someone fell in love today and someone fell out of love today. Someone had the best day of their life and someone had the worst day of their life. We all experience every day differently. And it's the same with life. We all experience it differently. It's different for each of us. So, again, We make the best. We make the best of it. The good days and the bad. Good days, we can have fun, live fully. The bad days, though, don't think of them as bad days. Those are the days that you grow physically, emotionally. Those are the days that that you learn, that you grow. Those are the days that you experience stuff. It's like yin and yang, two opposites coming together to form peace. Every day, you experience it a little differently. There are no 2 days that you're going to wake up and do the exact same things and feel the exact same way. And it's true for everyone else. So every day is a gift that we cherish. I personally cherish just the fact that I'm alive because I shouldn't be saying this, but because when Isabel died, it made me realize that she died in her sleep. She We all think that we're gonna live nice long lives unless you're suicidal, which we're not gonna talk about. Um, she did it, but I don't want to talk about that. But live live every day. I know that doesn't sound right, but every day you experience the world differently than everyone else. Every day you'll have a different experience. Every day you want to live. You want to have a good day, even if it's a bad day, and every day before you go to sleep, you gotta think to yourself, did I live today? Did I have a good day today? Even on the bad days, you learn stuff. But especially on those days, do you grow stronger? You become the person that you're destined to be. Remember, the past does not define you, and your future is not set in stone. I've never really, I always take that in, but it's never impacted me. But maybe to someone out there, it means more to them. If you're listening, keep that in mind. I don't know what you guys are going through. You guys don't know what other people are going through. But the past does not define you, and your future is not set in stone. You live your own life. Everyone else is already taken. You live your life, you live it to the fullest, and I am proud of all of you. You guys are going to grow up to be great people one day. And one day, you're going to impact this world in ways that you don't know yet. Thank you. And next time I do next time I do one of these, I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about Miyamoto Musashi and like some of his stuff, but those are good philosophies, honestly. I think this is a good place to end off. I want you guys to get some sleep, and I want you guys to think, and I want you guys to think, to reflect, not too hard. Don't traumatize yourself. But I want you guys to think and reflect, and then get a good night's sleep. There are two things. Yeah, just get some sleep, and tomorrow wake up and just have a great day. And that doesn't mean run around doing whatever you want, but it means that no matter what you do it to the best of your abilities, and maybe try to enjoy it. Because life, you do have to live to your fullest, but you also do have to work, because that's how the government, and that's how you like society and everything is. You can't control that. All right, I'm getting off. I'm getting off track though. I don't. But go to sleep. Tomorrow, wake up and just have a great day. And remember, I'm proud of you guys. You guys are amazing people, and the world is better because you guys are part of it, and you guys mean so much to me. And no matter what happens, there was always someone who cares about you, who loves you very deeply. And tomorrow, well, that is your day. You get to decide what happens. You will decide your destiny. This is me hopping off. Peace out, guys.